Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome into Unity Inspired Living. My name is Amy Van Ling, and I am grateful that you've chosen to be part of this living, breathing spiritual community. This is a place where inquiry is welcome, wisdom is shared, and transformation is experienced. So I don't like to look at it as simply a gathering. It's a sacred ground in consciousness, and we co-create this space together. And I'm so grateful that we get to be here together. We're beginning this new month of March. I was so thankful to see so many of you last week in the East Bay, and now we get to be online together. So I just like to remind you, as we come into this space, before we move forward, we just go into feeling our bodies supported. Feel the steadiness beneath you if you're sitting or standing or lying down. Let your breath remind you that you're already connected, that you're part of the earth. We're part of each other. We're connected to something much larger than ourselves. And we're rooting into our service this morning. So thank you for being here with us. Our theme for the month of March is Roots Before Wings. And I've been thinking about it a lot in a culture that seems to be sort of obsessed with speed and visibility. This month, we're choosing to look at depth, and talking about how before flight, there's foundation. Before expansion, there's integration. Before influence, there's that inner formation. And so we're diving deep this month, and we're honoring the quiet work, that hidden strengthening, that deepening of faith, and embodied wisdom. Because we know that what is rooted cannot be easily shaken. And so we are so thrilled to explore this topic with our first speaker this month online, Reverend Dr. Matthew Fox. It's an extraordinary honor to welcome you back. Matthew Fox is one of the most influential spiritual teachers of our time. I would definitely say a theologian, author, visionary, whose work has helped reawaken a creation-centered spirituality that it's amazing. It bridges mysticism and justice and science and the wisdom traditions of the world. You're in for a real treat today. Through decades of Matthew's teaching and writing, he has challenged conventional religious thinking while also inviting us into a deeper experience of that sacred within creation itself, and that ourselves within creation itself. So his voice is courageous and compassionate, and we are so thankful that he is here sharing the message today. Roots Before Wings, the foundational role of science in supporting spirituality. And I know that so many of us we love this topic, and we're just ready for it. So we are so grateful for your wisdom, Matthew, and your sacred yes to be with us today. We are so
Thank you.
appreciative.
It's good to be back.
Thank you. You will also see on our screen, we are blessed beyond measure by the music of HeartDream. This is a duo, Steve and Mirabai Bangs. We love this duo so much. They create music that feels like prayer. You will know if you have not heard HeartDream before, you will know today. After today, their presence invites you to soften, to listen, to remember the truth, what really matters. And you'll hear guitar and voice and Mirabai's angelic voice and flute tones, and there's so much going on in their music that will touch you, ground you, transcend you. So thank you. We're so grateful for the sacred atmosphere that you bring to us through music. Thank you, HeartDream. I'm tremendously grateful. You have briefly met Pat, and you will get to hear more from our beloved Pat McCauley this morning. We're so thankful for you, Pat. She will be sharing our inspirational reading and guiding us in the prosperity in practice. And she's grounding us in spiritual insight and bringing us into lived love experience for us this morning. So thank you, Pat McCauley, for saying yes and weaving the wisdom and love that you have, that you bring into our service this morning. We're grateful for you. So thank you everybody for joining us in this live stream, because we are co-creators together, and we are who we are because of you. So thank you for saying yes and being with us. I'd like to open with our mission statement. And I like to do that because I like to affirm the intention that anchors our community, and so that we're all together and aware of what are we doing here. And we are fostering love and wisdom, inspiring transformation, offering compassionate outreach, and embracing unity. So thank you for being on this mission with us. We are going to open with our community song, and I'm going to hand this over to Mirabai and Steve, HeartDream. I trust in God. Thank you both.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Beautiful. That was rooting. That was very rooting. We're grateful for you both. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen right over to Pat. She has our inspirational reading this morning. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful sounds. This month, our theme is Roots Before Wings. And here are some thoughts I have entitled, What Does Your Lighthouse Stand On? When I think about roots before wings, I'm reminded of a lighthouse. We've mentioned the light coming in, the cleanliness of your windows, what you clean your windows with, the energy within, the clarity and strength of the light going out. But we haven't mentioned what the lighthouse stands on, the ground, the rocks, the roots. In Matthew 7:24-27, describes a house built on rock versus one built on sand. Quote, there was a wise man which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And there was a foolish man which built his house upon the sand, and the rains descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Unquote. What is your lighthouse built on? Will it withstand the winds, the emotions and thoughts of the outer world without collapsing you in fear, anger, or depression? What are the things that will help your lighthouse stand strong? Here are three things: your values, your cleared conditioning, and your knowledge and embodiment of truth. Number 1, your values. What do you stand on? Love, expansion, unity, heart. These can develop strong roots. One may not be strong in this all the time, but there can be a willingness to be aware to always come back to what you value and stand for. Number 2, your conditioning. If you have resolved your conditioning, no past negative, no old stories, no one left to forgive, there will be nothing left to be triggered in the now. Most reactions we have nothing to do with the present, but are reminders from the past. Number 3, your knowledge and embodiment of truth. The truths of the outer world are definitely hard to pin down. The truths of the inner world are more reliable. This involves not only an intellectual knowledge of truth, but also being it. Some truths are: only love is real. All is one. We are unique, divine, genius beings meant to co-create with the highest. People are of love or asking for love. We are everything and nothing. So what does your lighthouse stand on? We are designed to stand strong with love in our hearts and energy to co-create. So let's grow our roots even stronger, because all is one benefits. And we are fulfilling part of the reason we came to this place at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, for such a powerful message. And something just struck me that this biblical story reminds me of the parable of the three little pigs. And I'm sure there must be some connection there,
That's from
between
my book.
yeah,
That's
right.
from my book.
Yes, the connection between the wise and foolish builders. I, just made this three little pigs connection right now. Wow, thank you, Pat. That must be why, because that is in your book, and it was just so strong. Yes, the foundations we build upon. Yes, thank you for that. So grateful. We are going to hand the screen back over. Mirabai and Steve, there's so much love. Michael J. Allen says, "What a miracle when the song touches my whole being." That is what HeartDream does to us. Glow and shine now. Thank you both so much.
I am the source of God's love. Zeal shines from me, lighting the way. I am the pure, soaring dove. I am enlightening the world today. I am the peaceful, still pond. I'm unfolding my lotus flower. Now the light of God has dawned. I am revealing my own true power. Glow and shine, I am divine. Glow and shine, we are divine. I am the bright flame in all co-creating now wonderful things, accepting my gracious call. I am transforming how my heart sings. Glow and shine, I am divine. Glow and shine, we are divine.
Sweetness to the soul. Thank you. Thank you. Glow and shine. I am divine. Love that. So much love coming in the chat for all the beauty here this morning. Thank you. Okay, Pat, I'm going to hand the screen over to you for our prosperity and practice this week.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Our prosperity and practice today is continuing from the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder, the prosperity law of increase. The prosperity principle is the thoughts of increase turn the tide. You are always invoking increase or decrease. Catherine Ponder teaches us that we are constantly using one of two laws, the law of increase or the law of decrease. There is no neutral ground. The direction of our thought determines the direction of our experience. When we speak of hard times, rehearse disappointment, or dwell on discouragement, we unconsciously energize decrease. When we think about plenty, possibility, and forward movement, we activate increase. Increase begins in simple ways. Give others thoughts of increase. Speak words that lift rather than limit. Give yourself thoughts of increase. Refuse petty thinking. Avoid hurry. Choose confidence over contraction. This week, notice your inner commentary. Are you invoking expansion or reduction? The thought of increase turns the tide. Let increase be your new frontier.
I love that. Let increase.
So it is.
And so it is. Yes, I say yes. I love it. Your new frontier increase. That's neat. I like that. Okay, we're going to hand the screen back over to HeartDream, Crystal in My Eye.
You are the crystal in my eye. You are the song in my heart. You are the one.
I'm on the path to find the way. The ridges run so deep, but my heart sees me clear.
And I walk on. You are the crystal in my eye. You are the song in my heart. You are the one.
I free fall into valley green and climb
and I walk on. You are the crystal in my eye. You are the song in my heart. You are the one. You are the crystal in my eye. You are everything. You are the one.
I glide through cool, placid lakes, struggling through the ocean, paddling through the river,
And I swim on. You are the crystal in my eye. You are the song in my heart. You are the one.
you are in my heart, you fill my breath and soul, you are
Everything. You are the one.
I rise into the clouded mist, finding the evening, melting into the love.
My heart dreams on. You are the crystal in my eye. You are the song in my heart. You are the one. You are the crystal in my eye. You are everything. You are the one. You are the crystal in my eye. You are everything. You are the one.
You are in my heart.
So beautiful. Thank you. You can understand why we call them the dynamic duo. Mirabai and Steve Bangs are HeartDream, and they are streaming on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. You can go to their website, heartdream.com, and find your way and learn more about them, and also follow them on socials, because then you get to see where they're at, and you can follow them around the internet world as well. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the grounding words of our readings, Pat. Thank you. Thank you, Heart Dream, for creating this sacred atmosphere that feels accessible for all of us to get really deeply rooted. So thank you all. We love and appreciate you. So much love coming through the live stream chat. Mwah. We will see you on the Facebook. Bye, Pat. Thank you so much. Oh, I see everybody here in our live stream. Thank you for being here. I know we're so excited to have Reverend Dr. Matthew Fox with us. And now, with open minds, rooted hearts, I invite us to receive the wisdom of Reverend Dr. Matthew Fox as we step into our theme this month and the talk, Roots Before Wings, the foundational role of science in supporting spirituality. Thank you, Matthew. We are truly grateful for you.
Thank you, Amy. And thank you to Heart Song, Stephen and Mirabai, and to Pat for her very thoughtful reflections, especially like that reflection on the lighthouse and the rocks and the application from Jesus and Matthew's Gospel. I don't know if anyone's ever told this to Stephen before, but he seems to be sporting a haircut of John Denver. And I don't know if he knows that or not, but I knew John Denver. I lectured at a couple of his events in the summer. And the last one I lectured at, he called me backstage afterwards and we talked and he said he wanted to study with me and he wanted to come to our program. And then he kissed me on the cheek. I've been kissed by John Denver. And then, but unfortunately, sadly, he died a few months later in that plane crash, far too young. So, and especially, Amy, I'm grateful to you for your leadership, for coming up with such poetic titles that challenge me. I remember last time I was here a year ago, the topic was real, raw, and radiant, awakening authenticity. And so I gave a talk on Adirondack and Parashinu, two real, raw, and radiant guides calling us to deep freedom. So I like that. And you triggered me with your poetic invitations. So today your invitation is about roots before wings. Pardon me. And I was inspired by that. And so I added as a subtitle, as a theme, the foundational role of science in supporting spirituality. Because I think science truly helps us in so many ways, both to deepen our roots, but also to put on wings. So I want to begin with a statement by Howard Thurman, the great African-American mystic who was so important to the civil rights movement and to Martin Luther King and all that saintly effort. He said, to relate to something everywhere, we must be connected to something somewhere. So every time I hear that or think about it, I have a picture of a great tree that is reaching out to the skies. But to do so, it has to develop its roots, because actually the bigger you become, the more vulnerable you are to the winds and to all the trials and misfortunes and temptations that come our way. So that the roots are so important. A big tree reaches to the sky like wings, but needs deep roots so as not to be uprooted easily when the real winds come. And I'm also reminded of a statement by the poet Rilke. He says, "Yet no matter how deeply I go into myself, my God is dark, and like a webbing made of 100 roots that drink in silence." And a wonderful, wonderful statement again on the power of roots. Yet no matter how deeply I go into myself, we all have this deep, deep self. And in fact, Meister Eckhart says that the soul is ineffable like God is, that it's full of mystery, and it's a lifetime journey to explore the deeper self. No matter how deeply I go down into myself, my God is dark, and like a webbing made of 100 roots that drink in silence. That affirmation of silence as a power and affirming source to prepare us for what the world is inviting us to. So reaching for the whole, for the cosmos, is something humans love to do. Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century said that what distinguishes humanity is that each one of us is capax universi, capable of the universe. Its grandeur and immensity, sparked by curiosity, we want to know our home better. So I'm going to invite Amy now to show two pictures of the universe that were recently taken by the Webb telescope. And we're living in this amazing moment of human and planetary and cosmic history when we can take pictures like this, when we, scientists from 29 countries set the Webb telescope into its place. And so we, ordinary folks, are receiving every day on our computers and wherever, our phones, these amazing pictures of beauty, of our origins, of our history of 13.8 billion years that brought us here. So we have a whole new relationship to the cosmos now, thanks to human ingenuity and technology. So this is one picture of the universe that's recent, and here's another one that is equally striking and moving. There we go. 100 million light years. You know, this is a simulation, but it's what's going on out there. And if it's going on out there, it's going on in here, because our souls, our inner selves, embrace all this. We are the ones who sent these machines up there, these inventions. Our taxes help pay for it. So everything we're receiving is part of our soul. We're connected to the whole universe. And as Aquinas says, this truly distinguishes us as a species. Thank you, Amy. David Bohm, the recent physicist, says, I'm a postmodern scientist who begins with the whole, W-H-O-L-E. That's what our times are about, beginning with the whole, not with the part. That was endemic to the modern consciousness, but we're now in a postmodern consciousness. And indeed, this is pre-modern consciousness too. The indigenous people everywhere and the medieval people, such as Aquinas, began with the whole, and Hildegard of Bingen. They begin with the cosmos, the macrocosm, the big cosmos. And then we humans, we are the microcosm, but we're made to relate to this macrocosm. There's this amazing affinity and synergy between us and the universe. We're eager to know about the universe. We find it beautiful. Ernesto Cardinal used to say, we can argue about the meaning of the universe, and we can argue about the facts of the universe, but we can't argue about the beauty of the universe. And this is what binds us as a species to the whole. We're learning so much about the whole these days, the cosmos. And so we need to deepen our roots to take it all in and to absorb the beauty. You can be overwhelmed by beauty. So we have to be stronger, if you will, in our roots. Another word for the whole is creation, which is why I talk about creation, spirituality, or nature, or the cosmos, or existence. Rilke poet again, the poet Rilke, he says, existence is the miracle. Existence is the miracle. Why is there anything and not nothing? And why are we here and not nothing? After 13.8 billion years, who would have guessed that we needed that long to get here? And here we are learning every day what here means. Now, in my last talk to you, I talked about Père Chenu, who was my mentor and named the creation spiritual tradition for me. And I just finished finally my 3-year book on him and his teachings. And it's in the hands of a publisher now. Please offer your prayers if they say yes. But our foreword was written by the cosmologist Brian Swim, who recently he's written a lot of books, but his most recent book is called Cosmogenesis, an unveiling of the expanding universe. And it's a beautiful book, and it's very personal. It's really his autobiography. He told me it's a spiritual autobiography of coming to grips with his vocation as a cosmologist, and how in high school, he went to a Jesuit high school in Seattle. He was told that he can't be both a scientist and a Christian and a believer. That's the message he got. Like, he was told they had to take Latin and not chemistry, because chemistry is about the world, it's about matter, but Latin is about the church and religion. And this kind of set him up for confusion and dualism. He said, until he started to read my works several years later. So he said it was Chenu and myself that brought him into realization of his vocation as a scientist. Thomas Aquinas says, the greatest thing in the universe is not the human. The greatest thing in the universe is the universe itself. And all beings are here to serve the universe, humans too. We are here to carry on the news of the universe and the wonder and the gratitude for the universe. Now, here are some things that Chanu says about our relationship to the cosmos and the universe. He says, for Thomas Aquinas, the human person is entirely one with the cosmos. We are entirely one with the cosmos. Human nature lives in nature. It is a microcosm of nature. The history of nature is not just a minor event in the theater of a spiritual history. History of nature is not a minor event in the theater of spiritual history. They go together. Spirit itself evolves as the universe evolves and as humanity evolves. Chanu says Aquinas observed the inclusion of the history of nature in the history of spirit, the history of spirit. So we're talking about evolution here. We're talking about history. The history of spirit, he says, is the history of nature. The human person is situated at the junction of these two worlds, which realize in the human being a homogeneity of spirit and matter. So spirit and matter come together in us humans. And we're able to talk about it. We're able to argue about it. We're able to derive principles from it, values, as Pat was talking about. These are where our values come from. Now, Chanu was a great historian of the 12th century in particular, the great Renaissance of the 12th century, which reinvented education. The university was invented then, and a lot else. And he says the 12th century featured an essentially religious discovery of the universe through a discovery of nature, a religious discovery through nature. The nature came first, the cosmology came first, the science came first. There's this big shift. From the Platonic view of matter versus spirit to the Aristotelian view. And Aristotle was a pagan, not a Christian or a Jew. He didn't have a Bible in front of him. And he came to Europe through Islam. So he had two strikes against him. He was a pagan, he came by Islam, and he was a scientist. And the fundamentalists in the 13th century, just like the fundamentalists today, don't want to talk about nature, about science and nature. But Aquinas did. And so Chanu, who is a great scholar of Aquinas, says the 12th century featured an essentially religious discovery of the universe through a discovery of nature and birthed a new civilization. That's what happens when humans get turned on by a view of the universe that is beautiful and awesome and today factual. The potential is here to birth a new civilization. And you read the news every day or even every week, and you realize we need something new. Humans need something new if we're going to survive. When it comes to climate change, when it comes to war, which seems to be everywhere and at everyone's fingertips, we need a new way of seeing the world, a new way of birthing the world, which is what a civilization is meant to be. And so Chanu says, all of nature belongs to secular science, but all of nature is sacred as well. It is merely one's perspective that changes. Science and mysticism ought naturally to complement one another. That is the teaching of my mentor, and I think he's right. And science then helps to ground us. And science itself reveals truths about the cosmos and about its darkness. Now, Albert Einstein said we're entering the third stage of religion. The third stage, this new stage of religion, said Einstein, is cosmos, a cosmic religion, he called it. And what's part of it is two things, conscience and cosmos. Not dogma leading the way, but conscience and cosmos. And I think that conscience word summarizes a lot of what Pat was talking about earlier, the grounding where our light our lighthouses stand. And these are the roots then for Einstein's view of the future of religion. Conscience, and of course Einstein was pretty pissed off by the lack of conscience since he was in Germany in the 30s and escaped. And of course, as a Jew, was very, what should I say, affected by the Holocaust and all, as all humanity should be. And so he felt the conscience of humanity had truly failed, and religions had failed to stand up enough to Hitler in his time. And he said that, I maintain, this is a quote from Einstein, that the cosmic religious feeling is the strongest and noblest motive for scientific research. The cosmic religious feeling is the strongest and noblest motive for scientific research. That's what Albert Einstein said. And he says, a contemporary has said, not unjustly, that in this materialistic age of ours, the serious scientific workers are the only profoundly religious people. He's saying scientists are the only ones who are doing it right. Now, why would he say that? Well, because they're wrestling with the most excellent thing in the universe, which is the universe itself. And therefore, with the sacred. With the sacred. He was once accused of being an atheist. And he responded by saying, I believe in the God of Spinoza. For Spinoza, God and nature are one, are a unity. And that true religion then for Spinoza and for Einstein is not based on dogma, but on a feeling for the rationality, the unity underlying all finite and temporal things, a feeling of wonder and awe that generates the idea of God. So awe is the beginning of wisdom, Rabbi Heschel said. Awe is the via positiva. It is what we're struck by so deeply that the sacred begins to emerge in us. And that recovery of the sacred, Thomas Berry says, happens only when we recover a sense of the universe itself as a numinous, that is a spirit-filled experience. And so again, we're living in this unique time when daily there is good news from the universe. The Webb telescope and many other telescopes are filling us with a new sense of awe. And that is a beginning of our souls becoming alive to the sacred, and even of a new civilization being born, a new Renaissance, one that will bring the diversity alive, the beauty alive in all the world's cultures, in all the world religions, and in the conscience of humanity. This, as Einstein says, is what moves us to even to do science and keeps us learning more and more about the world we live in. Now, I'd like to share with you a picture of two people, Joel Primack and Nancy Abrams. And Joel and Nancy wrote two important books together on the new cosmology. And Joel died this past year, and we had a wonderful celebration of his life a few weeks ago in Santa Cruz, because he taught at the University of Santa Cruz for many years. He was a astrophysicist, very renowned. He was very responsible for the discovery of dark matter and dark energy as an explanation of what makes our universe work. And Nancy and he wrote the books together, and these are the names of the books. One of them that you'll see the cover is called The View from the Center of the Universe. And let's show that book cover. And in this book, they bring out some really amazing facts because there is so much amazement in the new cosmology. Here's just one fact, that view from the center of the universe, that in 25% of the extrasolar planets in the universe that we have discovered, massive gas planets or hot Jupiters migrate close to their suns, and in the process, they destroy small planets. So if Jupiter were imitating other large planets in the universe, it would have swallowed Earth up a long time ago. We wouldn't have an Earth. Instead, our Jupiter has been a special brother to us. Jupiter's gravity has helped protect Earth from being hit by comets. Remember the meteorite 65 million years ago that ended the dinosaurs and so much else on Earth? That could be happening on a regular basis if it wasn't for our big brother Jupiter. And our Jupiter, this hot planet, is not like other Jupiters, if you will. It's befriending us, and making Earth possible, making us possible. And they talk about the Cinderella principle, where our moon, for example, is unusually large compared to other planets with moons. And because it's so large, it tilts the Earth. So we can rotate at 23.5 degrees, and this tilt gives us our seasons. Without that season, without that moon, we couldn't be growing our plants and all and be eating well. We wouldn't really be here. And there's just one story after another like this from the new cosmology that they lay out in their book. And they point out that we're at the center of the universe in this sense, that we're living at the time when accelerating expansion is carrying the most distant galaxies away ever faster, so they're disappearing over the cosmic horizon. And ancestors who come long after us will not see the whole universe like we can see the whole universe, because they're going to go down over the horizon in time. So we're living at what they call a special window of time that can only happen during a relatively brief epoch of the entire history of the universe. Now, this should make us grateful beyond measure and deeply in touch with the beauty and the wonder and the wisdom and the knowledge that is coming our way because we're living at this time in the universe. And they say we're the right size. If you check size out in the universe, that if we were much bigger, our atoms and our inner workings would be so busy keeping us going that it couldn't get very smart about examining the beauty of the universe and the awe of the universe. But we're right at that middle size where we can get things done if we put our hearts that way. Now, I want to tell you an amazing story that Nancy Abrams shared when she spoke, the widow of Joel Primack, at the life celebration. And she gave me permission to do this. And I'm quoting her now. She says, "We are all hard-headed scientists here." You're speaking to about 250 people came, many of them scientists. Joel Primack had been doctoral director to over 50 students at the University of Santa Cruz over the years. And a number of them were there for his memorial service. "We are all hard-headed scientists here, but let me tell you what happened a few days ago, just a few days before the memorial service. I walked into the laundry room," this is very down to earth, "with a basket of dirty laundry." Okay, we can all identify with that. "And stopped short when I saw the washing machine." This was the washing machine. Please put up the next picture. This was the washing machine after her husband died and just 3 or 4 days before the memorial service. There you go. That was their washing machine. She took a picture of it. Dust had formed into 3 galaxies in different stages of formation. Joel was a world expert on galaxy formation. "I had not been in this room for days. No one else had been in the house, and the only window was shut. What could have caused this? I could not imagine." One scientist friend suggested the spin cycle could have caused it. So I ran a load of laundry on the same cycle to see if the spin cycle moved dust on the lid of the machine. It did not. The galaxies were exactly the same. After several more loads, the galaxies have not changed at all. This experiment in my mind rules out the theory that the spin cycle created them. So I have no explanation. I sent the photo to my daughter, and she reminded me that one of Joel's favorite sayings was the line from Sherlock Holmes. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. So to all you scientists out there, and here she's challenging every scientist at the service, I'm absolutely open to a convincing theory of what caused this. But I will say, if ever there were a message from Joel, this would be it. And just in time for his memorial service, so he could also reach out to you. The great irony is, she says, that when he was alive, Joel would have been the last person to believe a message from the other world was possible. But if it is possible, Joel would quickly figure out how to do it. So I just think this is an amazing story, an amazing picture you're looking at here. And his widow is saying, all you scientists come up with an answer. You know, isn't that what science is about? These are the facts. That's the real picture. It didn't go away even when I reran the machine and no one was in the house except me and I didn't do it. So, and this is the language in which my husband spoke. So what I see here is an amazing story about the coming together of cosmos, science, spirituality, and what all religious traditions talk about what's next after this life. There's theories about reincarnation and about resurrection and about regeneration. But here we are, and three galaxies is as good a trinity as I can imagine. And if you have any Celtic blood in you, you probably know about Newgrange Monument in Ireland, which is older than the pyramids. And on the front of it, and it's designed so that on December 21st, winter solstice, which happens to be my birthday, the sun shines down the shaft 1 day a year, all the way down the shaft. Very sacred monument, older than the pyramids. And on the front, there's this big rock door. There are three spiral pictures representing probably life, death, and resurrection, or life, death, and regeneration, and so forth. But the Trinity is a common symbol for religions around the world. The Hindus have a Trinity, the Christians have a Trinity, and this kind of looks like a Trinity to me too. So I just want to say that the coming together of cosmos and roots and wings is not an abstract thing in our time. It's an invitation, I think, to think beyond our modern consciousness, which is so closed to the mystical, to realize that science and mysticism, just as Shanu said, healthily, they come together. And this has the power to so feed us, nurture us with awe, that whatever other generations have done at a moment like this is to birth a new civilization, a new way of being human. Because if we're going to survive, we have to give birth to a version of humanity that puts conscience first and cosmos, the roots and the soaring that we're all capable of. And that's how I celebrate this theme of sitting on wings with roots to guide us. Thank you. It'd be about over you.
Peace and blessings, Reverend Matthew. Wow. I know I felt like this last time every time you're with us. We just need a moment to digest. So much here. Wow. I'm going to quickly purchase those books too. Well, I can definitely agree with Mrs. Abrams about the unexplainable. So I'm with her all the way. What a experience! What an experience! What a photograph! I love that you brought in the Celtic tradition, the spiral, just the sacred symbol of three, in so many facets, and how it's showing up in this form, like the cosmos. It's just leaving me speechless a little bit. I'm going to check in with our feed because I'm sure everybody else is having a lot. I love this awe. Awe. We are, how did you say this? We are nurturing us with awe. We're birthing a new way of being human, putting the conscience and cosmos, roots and soaring. This is deep. We went deep. We went rooted deeply in this talk, in this conversation, which I'm not surprised at all. And how, uh, hmm, it's nourishment. Is everybody feeling that? Let me check the live stream chat. Amazing. Spirit is visiting on the washing machine. Let me go backwards. Um, yes. We're here to express gratitude for the universe. Spirit is visiting on the washing machine. Isn't that something? It is amazing, incredibly true and inspirational. Christy says, the earth is the godly locks principle now. Oh, Goldilocks principle. Sorry, I'm seeing God. I see God in everything. The Goldilocks principle now. It has not always been that way. The earth was volatile, but now it is in perfection. I love all the science in nature and how we make sense of the world, our universe, and our lives. I second that. Thank you, Christy. Michael J says, wow, I feel so much comfort. Amazing. This is so awesome to imagine. Thank you for sharing. It is amazing, Christy. I do so appreciate how, these two worlds, and you spoke of this, who was it? I forget. Brian Swim, did you say? He was basically, downloaded that he could be scientist or spiritual, but not both. And now it's emerging, becoming true that it's not only you can be both, we are both. It is both. There's no separation. And there's just such an exciting energy around that. Wow. Great stuff here. If you have a comment, you can put it in the chat. I'm going to just go over a couple of my notes here. I couldn't write fast enough, as always. I love how you brought Einstein in. And the strongest, I don't know if I wrote this all down. I maintain the cosmic religious feeling is the strongest motive for scientific research. I love that merging, the way he worded that and brought that to consciousness, really. When in a time when people were so separate about, and the scientists are scientists and spiritual people are a little more woo woo, and yes, this is the time. This is the time. What did you say about this? Oh, this must have been in their books. Were you saying that this special time that we're in? Maybe I didn't write it down because it was just so much flooding. Download, you were just sharing so much. The washing machine, and of course, his message is going to be in the language he understands, which is being a world expert on galaxy formation. Of course, there's no other explanation. I love that. It makes life so exciting.
Well, it does, and it connects this life to what comes next. And that people do communicate with us after they die. And that's what happened to the early Christians with Jesus, the resurrection. Paul says he interviewed 500 people who had experiences of Jesus after he died. and each one is different, you know. It's not one story and one personality. So um, that Nancy's husband would leave dust on the washing machine, but
Yes.
in the form of three galaxies is, well, as she says, this is how he would talk. If he would talk about this stuff, this is his language. I mean, this is what he spent his life studying, was galaxies. And it was a signature, literally, from him, from the other
Absolutely.
side. And so I think it says a lot
100%.
about
Yeah.
immortality. What's that?
I said 100%. I have had similar experiences to her, and it's in their language, and that's an important piece for us to stay open to, to noticing, to receiving. It might not
Yes,
come in the way you think.
yes. And it gives you perspective. In fact, this is what Ernest Becker, who wrote the book that won the Pulitzer Prize after he died and won it, The Denial of Death. He says that where religion and science come together is at the level of perspective. Perspective that both give you a bigger picture of things. And I just think this is the kind of, and of course, Otto Rank, who Becker builds his work on Otto Rank, and Otto Rank says the biggest issue for humans is the issue of immortality. You know, is this all there is, or is there more? And so, we're swimming in it with this story of the washing machine, this picture of the washing machine. Just a story, you got a picture, which is scientific, it's a fact. and
Yes.
and it wraps up because so much of the violence in the world is humans creating immortality projects like the pharaohs building the pyramids. See, that you're going to live forever in a pyramid if it's done just right, even if you have to kill a lot of slaves to build the pyramid,
Right.
or war or empire. I mean, all of these are in capitalist megalomania. The billionaires who want to buy up the world, and so it is a quest for immortality, is how Otto Rank analyzes it. It's a psychology. And this is deep in us. And so that's why he says that Jesus and Paul brought the most revolutionary idea ever proposed, and that is to democratize immortality. That resurrection means none of us have to build pyramids for ourselves after we die. We just have to live our lives fully and beautifully and kindly to others and and keep going in this world. So I mean, we're
Mm.
dealing here with a major issue, and that is, what do we do with our fear of death? And if we could calm the fear of death, and that's why Otto Rank was not a Christian; he was a Jew. But he says this is an answer. But of course, Jesus was a Jew, and Jesus got the resurrection question was in the air in Jesus' day, and he had his version, his answer to it, and then something happened after he died. So
Mhm.
that's the Christian story, and it's applicable to Radharank says to every human being, because we're all worried about death. If we give ourselves time to worry about it, otherwise we're busy building projects so we don't have to think about it or worry
Mhm.
about it. And it's
Right.
really conquering other people and all that,
Yeah.
expanding our empires. Plenty of that going on.
Something. There's a lot. I'm thinking, where do we want to go? Yeah. Um, wow. Humans. We are complex. And I did read that. I did read that recently about, the fear of death. Um, this is a big topic. Maybe this will be another topic for us. I also want to just mention with the washing machine, I love how Joel brought it to such a like mundane, ordinary
Exactly.
laundry. It's like the miracle, the all of the special is in every moment that we might call ordinary, just our everyday. if we're in the perception, if our perspective is open, then we're seeing things from a completely different lens. I think I see the chat going here, so let me just check. Shelley says, just what I needed to hear. Hope for me and us. Linda says, thank you for your message, Matthew Fox, on the relation between spirit and science and nature that are all related and inseparable. Mirabai says, my father met Einstein at the New York Fair. He remarked on his spirituality and its connection to science, believing all is connected. He influenced my dad to become a space engineer at Lockheed. Wow, Mirabai.
Wow.
That trickled right into your music. Wow. Jan
Great.
says, I am so curious about Nancy's question to the scientists. What responses has she received from any of them?
Well, the last time I talked to her, they don't have answers. So that's why she proposes. Her answer is that here's the facts, and you know, you got to chew on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's giving us her answer. But I kind of play with her. I commend her for having the guts to challenge all these scientists, and to kind of play with science and say, it was the last word. It's coming from my dead scientist husband from another
Yeah.
place. And to me, it was one more example then of science and spirituality coming together. Yeah.
It's profound. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like it was the last awe, like drop this awe moment. I'm like, we don't have an answer for that. Oh, wow. Beauty, beauty. This was just absolutely fabulous. Thank you. Christy says, using science to explain our world, connecting spirituality. Yes. Yes. Hi, Nan. Thank you for being here. Um, is Nancy here? Oh my goodness. Yay. She answered. Jan. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. I'm
Oh, oh,
deeply
Nancy's
touched
here.
by Mr. Nancy's here. She says, no scientists
Wow.
have given me the slightest bit of explanation. In fact, it has amazed me how open they have been to the possibility. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for being with
Oh,
us
wow. Yeah.
and
Good to hear from you,
sharing.
Nancy. Great.
Yes, we're so grateful that you're here with us. What a story. I'm so grateful for
Well,
your sharing
I'm
that.
trying to
Yeah.
spread the word, try to spread her story. It was beautiful.
Mm,
And
wow.
the
Beautiful.
gathering of people to remember Joe was equally uplifting.
Yes.
And because there were just so many beautiful stories about him. But
Yeah.
this kind of
I can't
takes the
wait.
tape.
This
The
case
washing
is the case.
machine.
Yes,
I
the
just love it,
washing
like you
machine.
say. It's so down to earth.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah. He's just saying, here I am in the midst of the laundry.
right. It wasn't. It wasn't dust on a pulpit.
No.
It was on a washing machine.
Right. Yes. Yes. That's the part I'm just really leaning into here that just feels so profound.
Uh-huh.
So yes, thank you for that share, both of you, Matthew and Nancy. I appreciate you being here with us. Michael J says, thank you for the picture of the universe. It could be on my walls. Yes, those were beautiful. Yes, so brave to show that to scientists. Pat was speaking to Nancy here. Nancy said, I had the feeling Matthew might talk about this today. But we're
Oh,
grateful that he
really?
did. We're
She
grateful
knows
he
me
joined
too well.
us. Yes,
But I
we're
did write
excited.
about it in my daily meditations. You can see the stories written up there too, with
Okay.
pictures also. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Well,
that's
we
good.
are definitely a community that is more than open, and this is for me. This just feels like confirmation. This type of a story is like, oh yes, absolutely, for sure. The message is loud and clear. So thank you both, Joel and Nancy. We're so grateful. And so grateful for you, Matthew. I cannot even express how thankful we are for your wisdom and your creativity. The way the way you bring so much into your message is you just weave it so creatively and so powerfully and impactfully, and you touch our hearts and souls, and we're so grateful for you and all the work that you do in the world. You're just such a difference maker, and we're grateful for
Thank you.
you and your time that you give to us.
Thank you
And I
what
look
you do.
forward to what comes next. We never know what the next topic will be, but we certainly know that you are one to as they say, land it, land that topic in such a deeply rooted way, and we can feel our wings emerging from this message today. We're so thankful for you. So we are going to close our service this morning how we typically do, and that is with our prayer of protection. So I invite everybody to receive the blessing. It's for you. Take it in, receive, and know that you are a powerful, magnificent human, and we are in this special time, and we get to be these humans that are birthing the new awe. And I am so grateful that we're on this mission together, because it's exciting and invigorating. And thank you, Matthew Fox, for being one of those people who ignites that fire in us. Thank you, thank you. So our prayer of protection: receive. The light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, the presence of God watches over you, the mind of God guides you, the life of God flows through you, the laws of God direct you, the peace of God abides within you. The joy of God uplifts you, the strength of God renews you, the beauty of God inspires you, and wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for being in this space with us this morning. It was so potent and so powerful. We're grateful for your presence, and as always, shine on, bright beings of love and light. We're so thankful. Matthew Fox, deep gratitude. Blessings, blessings, peace and blessings. Have a beautiful week, everybody.